What's going on, y'all? 5 Sports Out back at it with another video talking some NBA, and today's topic is a little different than what I usually do. We're still talking NBA, but we're talking more about NBA media members, in particular Stephen A. Smith, who is a well-known NBA media member, a well-known NBA analyst. He's on First Take, of course. He has his own radio show. He goes on ESPN Sports Center and whatnot. But point being, so Stephen A. Smith comes out and he talks about this whole Kyrie and LeBron saga, right? And he basically says that his sources are telling him that LeBron James is pissed off at Kyrie Irving, okay? And if Kyrie Irving was in front of LeBron James, right now LeBron James would be tempted to beat his you-know-what, okay? And that's basically what the story was, what the report was. And that's what Stephen A. Smith reported. And then sometime later, LeBron James retweets, or I should say quote tweets, that information that Slam Magazine reported about Stephen A's source. And LeBron basically says, boo, you know, this is fake news, this is a fake source, get a different source, it's not true. And he basically denies it, okay? And after he denies it, this sent Stephen A. Smith into a whole whirl of emotions, and he goes off on his radio show, and he basically goes on a rant about LeBron James, okay? I'm posting the rant that he posted on his radio show in the description below. Please go listen to that for just entertainment purposes, because it is comedic sports analyst gold. Stephen A. Smith does not hold back. He completely goes off on LeBron James, okay? Completely goes off on him. And it's just funny to me because when NBA media members and all these other guys, they get called out by players, usually they don't react, okay? Because it's par for the course. It comes along with the position. It comes along with the job. But Stephen A. Smith could not hold back. And my whole sort of thoughts during the entire time of listening to Stephen A. Smith rant was, what is it that really ticked Stephen A. Smith off so much that he had to go and rant about LeBron James like this? Was it just the fact that LeBron called his report false, or was there something else to it? So the easy answer here is just to say that Stephen A. Smith is, of course, pissed off because LeBron James called him out. He basically said the report is false, okay? And he basically said that Stephen A. Smith is not credible. I get all of that. And if I was a reporter, I probably would be mad too, like Stephen A. Smith was. But I just feel like there's something a little deeper here. And my theory on this whole issue is, with Stephen A. Smith, who went off in the rant, basically said that LeBron James has had a problem with Stephen A. Smith ever since the 2011 NBA Finals, when LeBron was called out by Stephen A. Smith for playing pathetic. He had 8 points in one of the games in the NBA Finals. Everyone knows LeBron did play bad in those NBA Finals. But apparently, because Stephen A. Smith called him out on it, LeBron basically was mad about it, didn't want to talk to him. He, quote-unquote, got his feelings hurt. That is what Stephen A. Smith said, okay? Funny enough, the best part about all this is the fact that I think internally Stephen A. Smith, who is the creme de la creme of NBA media, and he basically has an agent. He basically knows every player, every major team official with every team. He's got sources around the entire league. He's got a source everywhere, okay? But he mentioned this. There are two players that he's had issues with in the past that have been reluctant to talk to him, and that is Kevin Durant and LeBron James. Now, the Kevin Durant issues have been resolved because his mom came on the show on First Take, and she basically talked it out with Stephen A. Smith. This was back when Stephen A. reported that Kevin Durant was going to leave OKC to go to the Lakers, but he ended up going to the Warriors and whatnot. And KD basically said that, you know what, you don't know nothing. I don't talk to Stephen A. Smith. My friends don't talk to Stephen A. Smith, blah, blah, blah. Then the other one was LeBron James that he mentioned, okay? So LeBron, of course, like Stephen A. Smith mentioned, had a sour taste in his mouth after Stephen A. Smith called him out in the 2011 NBA Finals, after those NBA Finals. But even more interesting than that is the fact that I looked it up, and I could not find a Stephen A. Smith interview with LeBron James outside of, I think, back in 2009. So Stephen A. Smith has never gotten LeBron James to come on First Take. He's never gotten him to come on any of his radio shows. I feel like Stephen A. Smith feels a little bit of resentment that LeBron James maybe doesn't give him the importance that the rest of the league does, that the rest of the players does. I mean, every major player's got his phone number, including, I think, LeBron James, but LeBron never calls him and tells him anything straight from the source like other players would. Like other players would text him and stuff like that. And I feel like this time it sort of put him over the top. He couldn't take it anymore. He basically went off, and the grudge that he's been holding against LeBron, sort of maybe Skip Bayless working with him so long rubbed off on it, because we all know Skip Bayless is the anti-LeBron of all people that are not LeBron fans. He is the king of that, and maybe Skip Bayless rubbed a little bit off on Stephen A. Smith, but for whatever reason, he goes off on LeBron James, and I believe the reason is that resentment that he has because LeBron doesn't interview with him, he doesn't give him importance enough, and Stephen A. Smith wants that, and he craves it, and I don't blame him for it, but it is what it is. And the other thing with Stephen A. Smith is, you notice, if you watch First Take, if you watch any of his radio shows, usually he does this every single time. Before he gets to talk about a player, he always says good things about the player and then completely bashes the player. So he will say, this is so-and-so is a dear friend of mine. He's great. He's, a wonderful human being. And all those things are absolutely true. But then he goes on to say that he has these issues with these players and stuff like that. So I don't know why he feels like he needs to qualify every argument with compliments. Just be real with it and just say it straight up. If you have an issue, clearly LeBron James being a great role model and being, one of the best role models we've ever seen and one of the best professionals and leaders we've ever seen didn't stop you from, bashing him and saying that he got his feelings hurt. So I don't know why it matters, but I just thought that was very interesting. So Stephen A. Smith called him out, and I'm just curious to see how many other players Stephen A. Smith is going to threaten for the rest of the year, because he's threatened KD, now he's threatened LeBron, and it is just comedy to me with NBA comedy. I do love and enjoy Stephen A. Smith, though I am a big fan of his for entertainment purposes. He is still a very, very, very funny person. So I do like Stephen A. Smith. I'm a Stephen A. Smith fan, but it's just funny to me how over here he sort of gets in his feelings as well by calling out LeBron. So I just thought that was funny. Let me know what you guys think about Stephen A. Smith basically calling out LeBron James. Did you guys think he was right or wrong? If you like this video, want me to do more topics like this, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.